Hey guys, seconds out here. I'm making a video on my top 5 favorite fights of all time. I hope this one will be shorter than usual. I usually have a habit of making long videos, but I expect this one will be a short one. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Feel free to comment, send me your video responses. Leave me your top 5 fights in the comment section. I'm well open to discussion, but this is my top 5 fights of all time. I'll give you my reasons and everything. My top 5, my number 5 is Rocky Marciano versus Jersey Joe Walcott. Great fight. I think the most entertaining fight of Rocky Marciano's career. A 38-year-old Walcott was he was beating the crap out of Marciano for 13 straight rounds, and Rocky landed that historic right hand, regarded by many as the greatest one-punch knockout of all time. If you're a real hardcore fan, you must have seen it. I like that fight purely for the KO, right? No other reason. I mean, it was the knockout, but mostly because it was such a dramatic turn of events. I mean, Walcott, of course, was way past his prime in that fight. He was about 38 years old, if I'm not mistaken, or 37, I think. In his prime, I think he would have got Rocky out of there. And that's really why this fight doesn't go past number 5 for me. I thought it was a poor showing from Marciano. I do think Marciano is slightly overrated as far as in historical terms. He's slightly overrated. Given that Jersey Joe was so close to retirement, that plays a part in the scenario as well. Of course, he scored a first round KO in the rematch, but anyway, that's my number 5. My number 4 is Erik Morales versus Manny Pacquiao. Number 1, action-packed fight. Great fight. Actually, if I'm honest, one of my introductions to the boxing world. That's one of the first fights I ever watched. Is modern day fights anyway. First fight I watched on pay-per-view. You have to keep in mind that I come from a country where boxing doesn't get a lot of coverage, so it's hard to pick up fights, and I have to stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning to actually watch fights over here because of the time zone difference. But I do it anyway because I'd kill for the sport. I love the sport. Contrary to what some people think, no, I did not pick this fight because Manny Pacquiao lost. It was, I think, his most action-packed and competitive fight, aside from the Marquez trilogies, of course. I definitely liked Marquez 1 and 2. I didn't like Marquez 3 so much. I found that one a bit slower than the others, to be honest with you. I didn't like the job at the end either, but still, entertaining fight, don't get me wrong. Contrary to what a lot of you may think, as a fighter, I really did like Manny Pacquiao. And I still like him. My issues with him go beyond the kind of performer he is in the ring. I don't want to go into any detail because it would be besides the point of this video, but I do like Manny Pacquiao's fights. I really do. I definitely think he's entertaining, and in retrospect, he was and still is, very, very good for the sport as far as promoting the sport and the entertainment factor. Anyway, that's my number 4. Number 3 is Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Needs no introduction. The Rumble in the Jungle, probably the biggest heavyweight championship fight in boxing history, second only to maybe Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard, or Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling. Those 2 fights have immense historical significance, and I'd recommend to any true boxing fan to look up the history of those fights because it really, really is fascinating. No reason why I have to, the reason why I have the Rumble in the Jungle at number 3 is because I think it was more about the fact that everyone expected Ali to lose, and the hype that was around the fight, and the fact that, to me at least, this was Ali's most career-defining fight. The fight itself was entertaining, not as action-packed as my top 2 fights, I feel, and I find it hard for a heavyweight fight to break into my top 3 because I like speed. personally, when I watch a fight. That's the thing that I really like to see, is hand speed. Apart from the technical aspect of it, which sometimes I feel that the heavyweight division has lacked, and definitely lacks today, because the heavyweight division today it sucks balls pretty much, and that's why I prefer the lower weight classes. Just my opinion, of course. Can I have an opinion? Because the prevailing consensus seems to be that you can't have a fucking opinion on YouTube, basically, without people bashing your comment section. But anyway, Rumble in the Jungle, Ali Foreman, that's my number 3. My number 2, okay, maybe a slightly biased choice, but Jeff Fenech versus Azuma Nelson, number 1. Jeff Fenech actually has his roots in my home country, which is Malta. He's born and raised down under, of course, but Fenech is a Maltese surname, and he has Maltese heritage. His parents were born and raised here, and actually I know members of his family, because I come from a very small country. It's a small island, so everyone knows everyone over here, basically. Fenech is he's Maltese heritage, probably the closest we've ever come to producing a champion. But that aside, this fight is great. I mean, seriously, a great fight. If you haven't watched it, fucking watch it. I won't spoil the result. If you're a casual boxing fan, I'm not gonna spoil the fight for you. Anyone in my country who follows boxing, which isn't a lot, to be honest with you, but anyone who does, they've watched this fight. It's a real treat, guys. Seriously, to me, Azuma Nelson's most hard-fought and entertaining fight, and I'll just leave it at that. Watch the fight. Number 1 has to be Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor. This fight had it all, man. I mean, it had action, it was competitive, it was close, there was drama, tragedy. Again, I don't know if I should spoil the fight, but I mean, I don't want to spoil the fight for you if you haven't watched it. But this is, I really like both fighters as well. I love both fighters. Anytime you get a Mexican and an African American in the ring, there's that heat as well, there's the hype of the coverage. For me, my all-time favorite fight, no contest, no fucking contest, best fight of all time. That's my number 1. Anyway, post your top 5 picks in the comment section. Comment, rate, subscribe, post a video response if you like. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what your top 5 fights are. I'd love to hear it. Second